What's up? Lex1 here, and we're gonna have a look at a game I played against Fabiano Caruana just before I went on holiday to New York. And yeah, we managed to draw him, so that was pretty cool. Um, so he played e4, and I usually play e5. I didn't make a video out of this game because I was just, well, my girlfriend wasn't home and she was playing some music, so I couldn't really make a video. But anyways, it was a pretty cool game. And what was interesting about it was, this is just the main line of the Scotch. And what was interesting was that I play a sideline in this variation, and he didn't really know it, I think. And that's quite interesting, because this guy is just pretty good. He's number 5, I think, currently in the world ranking, so that's pretty cool. So this c4 here is definitely mainline. Bishop a6 is the one of the main moves here, but I play knight b6, which there are two main moves. Bishop a6, b3, g6, I believe, or g5. But and this is also a way to continue. I think g2, castles, bishop g2, rook e8, castles, and then this is the main. I think you call it Atabia. This is the main position here. This is of this line, I mean, but I don't play this line. So play continue something like this, and then I think rook c1 is the best move, and it is an interesting ending. So as you can see by the 17 versus 16, black has a material advantage, but white has 2 pieces, and those count for a lot. So white is 2 pawns down, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the 2 pieces are much better than 2 rooks, and just a rook and 2 pieces are better than 2 rooks normally. So it is quite interesting, but I guess Caruana knows this line pretty well, and I never play it myself. So I played this knight b6, which he obviously knows as well. Knight c3. And you can look here, but at the time, I mean, I played g6 here, and now he thought about 10 seconds. So that's, and he didn't play the main move. So that's quite interesting, because if the guy knows the line, he knows he should play knight e4 here. And we've spoken about this line before. So you have to go queen e6 here. Although the engine says bishop g7, queen e6 is definitely better. And this is quite interesting, but he didn't remember it or know. I think he has a file about it. I think he knows it, but he probably just forgot about it. So we went for bishop f4, which is, well, it's playable. I guess the idea is he just wants to castle pretty quickly, and he figures that the e5 pawn could become weak, which eventually the pawn becomes weak as well. But we're doing pretty well here, actually. So he went h4, which is pretty interesting, because he just wants to blast open my kingside. He's just gonna go h5 and probably queen somewhere in the bishop d3 and just try and mate me as quickly as possible. But we didn't quite respond to that correctly, I think. Bishop a6 might be a better move. Just attacking this c4 pawn, and well, you can probably go queen e4, and then maybe queen e6 or rook b8. Just try and attack his kingside as well. But yeah, we went for rook e8, and we were just gonna try and win this pawn. But he has an option of going h5 here. So if we take here, this is quite interesting, because he can just take everything. Take on g6, I think, and then play f4. And he's just gonna go bishop d3, rook h3 or h4, and just rook h1, and my kingside has some problems here. So this was probably a better way for him to continue. We could plump it with this, but that's also bad. Just c5, and knight has to jump somewhere, winning a pawn immediately as well. So yeah, that was probably the best way for him to continue. But he went rook e1, try and defend and hold that pawn. Bishop h6. Ah, a5 first. So I was thinking along two lines. I want to play bishop a6 here, obviously, but he can just go b3. And if he goes b3, then his kingside is open, yeah, but I can't really do anything. But if I have a pawn on a5, if, for instance, if I go bishop a6 now in this position, if I were to move b3, then I could have a4, queen a3, and then a4. Queen b4 is in the air as well. The pawn here on a5 is just pretty handy. And I think we went bishop a6 here. I don't really remember the game 100% since it was like 2 weeks ago now. But I do remember some things I thought during the game. Because now this c4 pawn is definitely weak. But I was seeing some ghosts here, obviously. When that kind of happens when you're playing such a good guy. But it seems like he's threatening a lot of things here. For instance, if we go, I don't know, if we go queen c5. Did I go queen c5? No, I didn't. But if we take with the f pawn, for instance, it feels like there's like bishop d3 and rook takes h7 is a threat, which it's not. But I mean, you're just gonna see some ghosts. I don't know. That's what I have when I play these guys. I went queen e6 here, which I think makes a lot of sense. I don't know. If he goes b3, I'm gonna go a4 probably. But I think he went c5, yeah. And I think well, no, I just forgot about the move, I think. I underestimated it a bit. I think I took on f1. But knight e5 is definitely also... Oh, I played knight e5. So, normally I want to take here, but taking on b6 is a bit of a problem. My bishop is hanging, so I have to move the bishop, and then he can take on c7. And then I don't really have an advantage anymore. I'm gonna pick out this pawn, but yeah, he has an open h-file to work with, so he's gonna take and then play either bishop h6 or rook h3 or something like that. And his kingside isn't really a problem anymore. I helped him by taking away this f1 piece, which he wants to move away anyways, because he wants to double the rooks. So this knight d5 is probably the best move. And he took, which is bad. So he's giving me a lot of opportunities here. The best is taking on g6, and then taking on a6, and then well, if I take back, you can go like bishop d2 and rook h3, and then the plan is just coming. But I can also take on c3, and now it becomes a bit messy. So takes, and bishop h6. So if I take, rook takes, and the h-file is just my main problem. I can't really take here, I believe. Yeah, this is one of the nice points as well. So if he takes, if we take on e1, rook takes, king d2, there are two rooks hanging, and that's a big problem. He could take here, but king c2, and now everything is hanging. I don't know if Caruana spotted this. I doubt it. Well, he didn't, because he didn't play it. He played knight takes d5, which I guess he was afraid of knight takes c3 and queen takes a2, something like that. But it's not such a big problem. We took here, and now there are some problems, because this c5 pawn is definitely very weak. And well, his kingside is weaker than mine. We also have queen f5 now to work with. We took on f1, and then we took on e5. d6 is a move, g5 even is a move, because if he takes, queen takes e5 is just outright winning. We're attacking his bishop and also b2, and he can't defend it both at the same time. So that's pretty good for us. So g5 was definitely one move. h6 the engine says, which is pretty insane. If we take with the bishop, I guess queen h5 is the point. Yeah. But this ending as well as the game's ending, these are very good for us. So we took on e5. He took on g6. Rook e1. I don't know. we could take and have just simply a better ending, but it's a bit messy because this pawn is weak, and but yeah, h6 is a problem as well because there is a threat of queen f6 now. I mean, this ending is pretty hard. We don't want this. So if rook e1, we could also go queen g5, which is probably better. And then something like rook e6 or something. I think I like rook e6. Just trying to double rooks. But even here, if we take with the h pawn, the h file is a problem. So rook d1 and then queen h3. So I should really watch out. But he didn't go for rook e1. He took, well, we took back with the f pawn, because if we take back with the h pawn, the h file could become a problem. That seems to be a recurring factor here. But now if he doubles on the h file, we just easily have either queen g7, rook e7. We can just defend it now, and there is no threat on h8 because the file is closed. So we play queen h3, rook e7. If he goes rook e1 now, I think we can just check. Yeah, maybe that happened. No, it didn't. I can't quite remember the exact game. I do know that I had a very good ending, and as you can see here, we're just a pawn up, and yeah, we should win this. And then against the normal opponent, we probably would. But this guy is just, well, I think I played it wrong, obviously. But yeah, the guy is pretty good himself. Queen d4, the engine comes up with. We're just gonna win c5, but it seems so scary just to give another pawn, to take another pawn, because when he has a lot of pieces on the board, yeah, I'm just afraid of getting mated. The engine says rook b8 and just thinks like I'm not gonna get mated because I'm gonna mate him. I mean, you should really, yeah, you should look for stuff like this. It's a mate here, of course, because if he takes rook e2, king a1, and then queen d4. And if he doesn't, I think we're gonna take on a2. Yeah. If he doesn't take, we're gonna mate him in 1 on c2, so he's gonna take and then check. And then the same mate. So, but you have to watch out for stuff like this, and it seems so scary. In reality, my threats are way scarier to him than the other way around. But if he goes b3, there are still some threats here. Queen d4, the engine says. I don't. I think the point is queen e4 check. But if he takes on g6, because we don't want to take back and then have some open files, even though it's still possible, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Objectively, it's winning, but it's just so hard. So we just try to trade some queens, because then we just have an ending with a pawn up. And he played f5. Yeah, it's quite obvious, this move, because if he can take on g6, he has another target. And if we take on f5, he has an active rook, so it's pretty decent. And this move, this is where it goes downhill, I think. Rook e2 is probably the best move, just cutting the king off, threatening to take g2, and also threatening rook b8 and a4. So that's probably one way to go here. But instead we went rook f8. Takes. And c6 is definitely an annoying move. The engine comes up with rook f6, which is also probably good. I think I was planning to go rook e6er, which seems natural, because if he takes, the pawn ending should never be losing for us, and I think even should be winning. But yeah, I think that's the reason why he didn't go for rook f6. And he went for this c6, which is pretty annoying, because if we take then rook f6, should be draw, I think, because now this pawn is weak and then c7 is weak as well. If we go king g7, I mean, this pawn is weak and we're threatening rook c5 here as well. I think this should be an easy draw. So therefore we went d6, which seems to be somewhat good, but this is the problem. We can't really defend this pawn now. But yeah, you could play rook e5 here, but then rook d4. and just the rook is switching to a4 and winning one pawn at least. Well, not at least, just winning one pawn. So we played the nice king f7. Because the point is, if he takes rook e5, the pawn ending is probably winning because we're winning c6 here. If he takes, we're just gonna go and take the pawn and be a pawn up and win. So he can't really take, but if he goes away, we have rook c5 winning the pawn as well. So that's a nice little touch here. So I thought I was pretty much winning here. Maybe rook c5 is a move actually. No, this pawn ending is not winning. Even though we're a pawn up, this king is too close now. So white is even winning here. We played a4. And then we played... I thought we played rook b6, but we played rook a6. So we're playing fine here. King e6, just activating. And probably d5 is better here. If king b4, then I guess we're gonna play king d6. Oh, rook b6. I think we're gonna play king d6 and just play c5. But I might be wrong. So what did he play? Oh, we're not. I played c5. That's the point. Okay, so he went rook c4. This is the only way to defend a pawn. And as you can see, the engine says we're still winning here. I think we played rook a5 because it seems natural. We're just gonna go rook a5, d5, and the rook has to go somewhere. But yeah, how we managed to not win this is pretty sad. Check. We're doing all the right moves here. And now, did I play d4? No, I didn't. Because we're just gonna run here, I believe. King d3. Oh, then we're gonna take there. So king b3, but then d3. Just king e4. Yeah, and he has some problems of because he really wants to move this pawn up, of course, but his pieces aren't really coordinated. Because if he goes rook c4, for instance, we're probably just gonna go king d5, yeah. And then we're gonna move this pawn up and make a queen and say good game. But yeah, in fact, if he goes rook a8, for instance, then we can even go king d3 and then play c4 and just win that pawn. And then it's just easy. It's definitely easy. But instead, we played rook g3 and this. And I thought I was still winning here. It feels like I should be winning. Check. Just moving the king backwards and then, yeah, win that pawn and just move my pawn up. It seems like an easy plan, but this is an annoying move for sure. He's cutting off my king and threatening to go a6, a7, and I didn't quite see how I could defend against that. I went rook h2 to get it to h7, but that seems to be bad. I'm not sure. Yeah, the engine immediately says a draw. So first let's see why it's a draw, and then we'll look back. So yeah, this is a drawn ending now. I thought we'd win this pawn, but yeah, I'll just show why it's a draw. So he's just attacking this pawn. Okay, I can only defend it by playing king c5. I can also take on a6, and then it's obviously a draw. Yeah, this is a perpetual. So yeah, that's a draw. But why rook f2 is not a draw? I'm quite interested actually. So if we go rook f2, the engine said that was a good move. a6, rook f1. Okay. So I guess he can't really go to the a file, because then in lines like the game, we'd have a rook takes a6 check. So if rook d6, then in the perpetual, we'd have rook takes a6, and the pawn ending would win. But king c2. Okay, rook a1. But what's the difference then? Check. I really didn't see no difference. b4. or a7. Yeah, I really saw no difference. I think both lines are drawn, actually. So the guy managed to scrape a draw somewhere somehow. Why is it? Oh, rook f6 is the point. Okay. Oh, and that's why rook f2 is better. Because if the rook were on h2, in this line, a6 check, king a2 just seems to draw. Because now we don't have rook f6. We have rook h6, but that doesn't threaten to take the pawn. So that's the point. That's pretty nice point. It's still a draw probably, but yeah. So this rook b8 just seems to draw, and I didn't manage to gain anything. But it was a pretty cool game. I'm thinking of reviewing some more games like this, and it was pretty cool. What do you guys want? Do you want me to review games of me which have like nice endings? I have some of those stored somewhere, which are just plain nice. Or do you want me to review games against like good players, really good players like Morzevius, Grishuk, guys like that? Let me know. I'm quite interested into to hear what that is. No, I don't want to play you. So yeah, let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.